All right, so to wrap this all up, I want to kind of go over some, I guess, do's and don'ts type of things, some things to look out for as you start um, searching for your VAs, employing this information into your business. But there's a few different things that I want to talk to you. This is just going to not really be organized, just kind of be stream of consciousness, things that I've mistaked or screwed up, things that other people I know that have screwed up, and so forth. So I think the biggest thing for me was trying to give too much to one person. My initial swag at this, I hired the person that now does my customer service. I actually hired somebody. They didn't work out, and then I fired them and hired the person I have now. I started her with inventory management, and that did okay. But once she got that down, I gave her customer service as well. And then once she got the customer service, it was kind of the same time that I started getting a lot of orders last in December of 2014. In December, I couldn't place them all, so I gave her order placement as well in December. So I gave one person all of these three tasks, and I think I expected her to be as good as I would be with it, and to be able to do it in the same amount of time than I would be. But we have to remember that the things that we're training on, while it is nice to hire people that are better than you at these particular tasks, not everybody is going to be. For instance, when I outsource my product research, I know that it's probably going to take them twice as long to find a product than I would be. And with customer service and things, they still have to learn all these things, and it's very, very hard for somebody that's not actually in the business, running the business, to grasp all these things and see kind of how they fit together. And this is true for really any kind of business structure you have. So my caution is that you never give too much to one person, and you make people specialists in their particular area. When I think long and hard now before I give one person more than one kind of task. So that's something to definitely look out for. A lot of people think that they're just going to hire one person, they'll be able to run their business for them. I suggest you set up something like this to kind of segment your business. The second thing is use your imagination. Like I've gone through and I've kind of taught you how to do this with an e-commerce structure, but I've tried to make it as general as I can. And just like down here, it says, like, you can literally outsource anything, and think about things in your personal life that maybe you do that you could outsource. Like I said, I outsource my lawn care. I don't mess with my lawn. I don't have the time, and I don't enjoy doing it. There's an example in a book, The 4 Hour Work Week, where people have outsourced things like cooking. They've hired somebody in their area, to cook them 2 or 3 meals that they can keep in a freezer or refrigerator throughout the week, and just basically leftovers throughout the week. So just kind of use your imagination on things, and think about the things in your life that are taking up your time that you'd like to put that time elsewhere. The other mistake you're going to make is you're going to want to jump into it too quickly. So when you're hiring, make sure that you are being very diligent and really testing the people that you are looking at hiring before you hire them, because it takes a lot more time on the back end to hire somebody, fire them, go through the process again, hire somebody else. Now you can always go back and offer other people jobs that apply to your original one, but like I said, it just takes more time. It's better to get it right the first time, so really put a lot of time into that as well. Another thing that you can do for the access part of it, a lot of people talk about, they don't like giving up access to credit card information, logins, and so forth. You can have them sign a non-disclosure agreement, and it's basically a binding document that you kind of write, and so forth. But there's examples of them all around the internet. You can kind of take one, make it your own, but it's basically a document that says, this is some of the things I'm going to share with you. And while you're employed with me and afterwards, you are not to share any of this information. And you can make it very specific what they can and cannot share. But that's a good thing to do. Another thing is, when you're training these people, not being too specific with how they do things. I really like to kind of give people a task, give them a little bit of guidance, maybe tell them how not to do something, how you don't want it done, but really let them figure out their best way to do something. Because if you're very prescriptive with something, then you're not going to kind of allow creativity in the way that they do things. A lot of things that I've outsourced, inventory placement, order placement, customer service, there's been times where the people that were doing those jobs did something really innovative and new, and not at all the way I would have done it, but actually a better way to do it. And if you are very prescriptive, like, this is how you do something in 10 steps and don't deviate from these steps, they might not find out a better way to do it. Yes, when you start doing that, you're going to have some mistakes at the beginning, and that's okay. You can just, correct them kindly. Remember, these are people, so correct them, and then let them know what kind of right looks like, and let them grow that way. But don't stifle growth with being kind of the micromanagement boss. We all complain about that. If you've ever had a job, it's not fun to have somebody that micromanages you. This is the same thing. So you can do that with your training videos. Just make them kind of general, but highly suggest doing that. What else? And then I did Upwork. Don't look for people just on Upwork. Elance is where I hired a lot of people off of too. It's a great website, and there's some other ones around there. So just because that's one I use, doesn't necessarily mean that that's the one you have to use, right? There's other people around the internet. You might be missing out on your person just because you didn't look somewhere else. And then another thing, when you're hiring people, kind of get a feel for their strengths and what they're good at, because a lot of times you're going to hire somebody and maybe they're strong in something else, and you actually have them end up doing something else. The person that does my bookkeeping, for instance, my original post when I first started doing this was just for inventory management, and I put there might be some bookkeeping on there, and somebody applied from the Philippines that was an excellent accountant. And I ended up hiring them, even though they were on an inventory management post. I ended up hiring them to do my bookkeeping. And then as you're doing it, just kind of play through and really think about the strengths of your people, because you're going to find that they're strong in different areas. And if they're, for instance, if they're kind of more the artsy, flyby, just kind of whatever comes my way type of person, they're not going to be really, really great at the inventory management. They might be okay at maybe like an order placement type job, but you can probably train them on some affiliate stuff. because that's kind of a more personal thing. But like a numbers person, obviously inventory management, order placement, probably good for them. My person, like I said, that originally did that now does customer service. Um, I did hire them with the idea in mind that they were going to do customer service, but like I said in the beginning, I had them doing a lot of things. I found that their strengths was not the number side of it, and really like tracking things and making sure that A, B, and C got done. They were more the artsy, talk to people type of person. Um, and so I now have them doing customer service, and they have done a phenomenal job with customer service. But really kind of play into the strengths of your people, and don't uh, you hire good people and you train them up, but not everybody is strong in the same area. So be mindful of that as well. And with that, I'm going to wrap this training up. I'll be conducting my interview, which will also be in the training with one of my people today to kind of give you their side of the business and their take on it. But I really hope that you have enjoyed this. Um, and here's to your working less, living more, and growing your business as quickly as you can through outsourcing. So I'm glad that you took part in the training. It's super important for growth, and please keep me informed on your progress. I'd love to see some feel good stories, some success stories out of this training.